celebration.
Welcome again to my channel. This is Trev from Trevessence, and this morning we're going to bring you some articles of news from this week. But before we get into it, if you are new here, a very special welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you are a returning traveler, I want to say thank you for your continued support. Police in San Antonio, Texas are probing the circumstances under which an 18-year-old pregnant woman was found dead along with the father of her child. Police say 18-year-old Savannah Soto, who was 9 months pregnant, was expected to show up at the hospital on a Sunday to be induced. However, she had been missing since Friday. Unfortunately, on Tuesday, the bodies of Savannah Soto and the father of her child were discovered in a vehicle. They had both been killed. The Soto family are no strangers to tragedy. Last year, their 15-year-old son, who is the brother of Savannah Soto, was shot and killed outside their home in a botched drug deal. His killer was recently apprehended.
The family of 18-year-old Savannah Soto says she and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra, were found dead yesterday in a car outside a San Antonio apartment complex, 3 miles from Soto's home.
It appears to be a very complex crime scene.
Soto, last seen near her home Friday, was 9 months pregnant and 1 week past her due date. Her family says she was scheduled to be induced at the hospital Saturday, but never showed up.
This is such a sad situation because not only was Savannah expecting the arrival of her baby, but also her family was expecting the arrival of the baby, and now they will neither get to see the arrival of the baby nor have Savannah anymore. May their soul rest in peace. Our next story comes out of Tampa Bay in Florida. Siblings fighting over who received more Christmas gifts leaves one dead, one in the hospital, and one in jail. The Pinellas County Sheriff Department is probing the circumstances under which two siblings were fighting over who received more Christmas gifts from their mother. When their sister, 21-year-old Abigail Baldwin, stepped in, the 14-year-old brother shot her dead. When the 15-year-old brother saw what had happened, he shot the 14-year-old. Now, the sister, Abigail, is dead, leaving an 11-month-old and a 6-year-old. The 14-year-old is in the hospital with a gunshot wound, while the 15-year-old is in police custody.
It is not strange that siblings squabble over who got the most Christmas gifts or who got the better quality Christmas gifts around this time of the year. And oftentimes those squabbles are squashed with a little understanding, a little sharing, a little caring, and everybody moves on into the new year without any serious injury. But not so with this family. Clearly, there was some kind of hatred and anger going on for these two teenagers to be fighting, to take things this seriously, so that they had guns come into play over Christmas gifts. But what confuses me more is that these were teenagers, 14 and 15-year-old, and to settle their score, they both had guns. And even though they both had guns, they were quarreling over Christmas gifts, which is for children. Isn't that ironic? They are using adult toys to fight over children's gifts. And to that end, their sister ended up losing her life because she tried to make peace.
She says an argument between her two teen brothers turned violent on Christmas Eve.
So you got the 14-year-old who's mad at the 15-year-old because mom's not buying equal amounts of gifts.
Fight escalated once the family got to their grandmother's house in Largo.
He takes out his gun and tells him he's going to shoot him in the head.
When Abigail stepped in, she was shot in the chest by her 14-year-old brother with his .40 caliber semi-automatic gun.
What she said was, knock it off. Leave it alone. Why are you doing this? It's Christmas.
Seconds later, deputies say his 15-year-old brother came outside and shot his brother.
Shot one time in the stomach.
We are not.
And just like that, a mother loses 3 children at the same time, all to gun violence. And another article of news coming out of Jamaica. 2 gunmen held up a bar in St. Elizabeth but had the tables turned on them when the patrons and the bartender fought back, leaving the 2 gunmen dead.
The preliminary investigations suggest that during the event, 2 armed men attempted to rob patrons at this location. They were challenged by licensed firearm holders. As a result of the shooting, 2 men were shot and killed. 2 firearms recovered. The identities of the men have not yet been confirmed. However, one of them has an ID which is from a Kingston address. I want to speak to specifically because this community is a very quiet community, the trial area, and the residents woke up this morning to this kind of news.
And since this last report, police have identified the deceased men as Christophine Gardner and Siobhan Hall, otherwise called Munga, both from Clarendon. According to police, the men were listed as suspects in various other crimes. A third person, who is believed to have been the getaway driver, has been taken into custody. And I don't know how many of you all have seen the video, but in the video you can see the patron taking out his weapon and challenging the gunman, and that's what I saw in the video. But I've seen several vloggers talking about the video and describing the bartender picking up the criminal's gun and shooting the criminal. Have watched the video several times and I don't see that, and I don't know why we gotta be our own best enemy. But because even if that had happened, that should not be the highlight of the video. And I don't think we should be even talking about that, considering that these men, according to police, were members of violent gangs who could be seeking reprisal for the death of their cronies. And if we're going to be saying that the bartender picked up the gun and shot the criminal, we are essentially saying, well, the bartender is fair game for the criminals to come back and to take her life. I don't know if that's what happened in the video or if there is another part of the video, but I didn't see that part. And I would just wish that we would just leave well enough alone and let some things rest. That's going to be it from me for today, my friends. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters.
Father God, I'm begging you to guide me on my journey. Lord, guide me while I chart this rocky road.